So I say every time our friend from Houston comes back,
I know.
Oh man,
sends me a Venmo.
I got
like,
5
ooh, it's
Venmos after that weekend, and I was like,
Damn, this hurts.
That's
It happened
devastating for the
again.
bank account. But also, like,
I think I had fun.
I think I had a good
like,
time.
honestly,
At least if you had fun, it's
exactly.
fine.
If you
The
told me
amount-
I had fun, I'd believe you.
The vibes here are just super nice. It feels definitely. I mean, obviously, what you guys had downstairs was great, but it's welcoming. I feel like it's definitely. It's just a great room.
It's
Definitely.
like cozy. Yeah.
Cozy.
Sweating a
Cozy.
little bit. But it's
Yep, and then the
It's a little
ads will
hot.
be eventually back here.
Oh yeah.
So we, like insert energy drink
Our
brand.
sponsors.
Any of you could be right here.
Yep.
If
Exactly.
you want to be.
Olipop. We would love Olipop.
Yep. Well,
If you want to sponsor us.
yeah.
We
or
don't ask
un-
for much.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
some unnamed, some new probiotic drink coming up in the game.
Uh huh.
Oh, you
Made
like
of
soda?
algae or like some other superfood. It's gonna be made of
Olipop?
We love Olipop.
Prebiotic? Probiotic?
Yeah, it's
Probiotic.
prebiotic. I think.
Prebiotic.
Actually, do you know?
Prebiotic.
So why
Thank
do
you.
people talk about tequila being good for you with probiotic? What does that even mean? Is
Oh, I
that
don't-
just gut health or something?
Gosh,
It is gut health, but I didn't know tequila
I've never
was
heard
a
it. Like,
probiotic.
yeah, I've never heard those two things.
Don't
in the
quote me
same
there.
sentence. Tequila and
I
good for you.
have some
I
Mexican,
looked
I have
it
some
up.
Mexican friends. They're always like, probiotic tequila. I need this sponsor.
This is great.
Yeah, can we borrow Grace
Yeah.
wherever she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have her on.
I'll pay you minimum wage, Grace.
She'll be our collateral. No, she's the best.
Oh.
Mr. P, thank you so much for hopping on. For everyone else, welcome to Eat My Assets, episode 15 or episode 2A. Depends on
Oh, yeah.
15?
Mhm.
15.
Or
yeah.
2.0.
2.0. Jeez, that's like a whole season.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a grind. We've been slowly on the come up. When
Yeah.
you first joined, we had like 0 followers.
Yeah,
Now
we were
have-
the only
Now you have a lot of
follower.
followers. And now you have other accounts stealing your content.
Yeah, you actually showed us that,
Yeah,
so thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
the first one that after
I
you
DM'd
showed
you
me,
guys, yeah.
everyone was like hitting me up, like
Yeah.
different accounts doing the same thing.
Yeah, and they're getting
Of-
clicks on it. It's like, we should be getting those clicks.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
You know what I
That's
mean?
why we got to wear. Once I get those embroidered hats, it just
Yeah.
says "Eat My Assets." It's like
Mhm.
undeniable.
I'm going to get it tattooed on my forehead. It's going to look great on the LinkedIn.
You'll be back for 2B.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey guys. And then episode 3, I'll say, I'm unemployed currently. I currently make $0.
You gotta lose your job first.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
you gotta.
But you got to do it for the brand, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all for the brand.
And I'll get Olipop in this left cheek.
Yes,
Thank you. You're such a good
yes.
friend.
I know,
Uh-huh.
this is
Yep.
awesome.
Just quit your job for the brand.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's all. I just care about my friends so much.
Thank you
Mr. P,
so
I
much.
appreciate you. And welcome back to the show. New
Yep.
vibe, new
New
environment.
vibe.
And
I got a haircut since then.
Oh, nice, fresh.
Nice,
oh,
fresh.
yeah, the
Hope you guys-
high
A little
almost
fade.
skin fade. Yeah, I
Mhm.
love that.
Yep, just trying to look good.
Looks great.
You look great.
Oh,
I'm,
you
I'm a
guys
little bit
do.
embarrassed sitting next to you here.
Oh,
No, don't you like your matching set?
you look good.
I
You
do
look
actually.
good. You look
I
hot.
do. If you're wondering, I'm sweating my balls off right now. But it's perfectly fine. And I'm joined by assistant producer over here, Aranza. Aranza, say what's
Hi.
up.
What's up?
But maybe to kick things off for the audience, as if you're brand new, would you be able to tell us a little bit about what you do right now and how much you currently make?
Yeah. So I am. I'm an accountant at a hedge fund in New York. So obviously, like that, our title is called like a fund accountant. As you kind of work your way up the firm, you get like different titles and stuff. But my job is accounting for the funds. A lot of people who like think accounting is just like looking at your books and records and making sure everything like your assets equals your liabilities plus your equity, like the accounting equation, which some people either know or don't know.
I took accounting too in high
I
school.
took
That's why
financial
I remember.
accounting.
Honestly, I mean that's not it's definitely like it sounds simple, but there's a lot of complex nuances to accounting. But the one thing that's cool about the job is that you're kind of managing the fund to an extent. Like you're really talking to every single person that works on the
Oh, cool.
fund, and it's like so I started when I was on episode 2. I was making $105,000 a year. And that came like going into 2022, it was like a $10,000 bonus on top of that.
Nice.
Free lunch every day,
Oh.
good benefits, like really good benefits.
Yeah,
Free
free
lunch
lunch.
Free
every
lunch
day?
every
That
day.
stacks.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
stacks up.
My
Oh.
body is 90% sweet green. Like it's
I love that.
yeah, it's pretty cool. They definitely like the benefits are top notch,
Wow.
and they're very.
Oh, it's not even in office lunch. It's just you could get lunch anywhere.
No, it's in office. Like they need to go. You
Oh.
need to go in the office and also get like. But it's like a thing where they have like you log in the morning and you have like your list of vendors you can.
Oh
buy
my
from.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's like new ones every day.
That's
They change
really
it up.
cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely something. And like some people like I mean, not, but sometimes like if lunch comes a little bit later, I'm like, oh man, why is lunch late? But then I also have to step back and be like, wait, I'm getting this for free. I have to make sure I'm being like grateful.
I've been like, fuck that. Where's my lunch?
I'm like, oh, it's 1 p.m. Where is this? You know what I mean? But I was like, oh, it's free. So you have to. It really also makes me very grateful because it's just such a cool benefit, and other great benefits too. But if you're talking like pure salary numbers, it was 105 and then a 10K bonus, and then going into this year, they raised me. It was like a promotion and title to like associate, I guess, but it's still a fund accountant. But it went from 105 to 117 and a half.
Oh, it's pretty nice raise.
And $35,000 bonus.
Wow.
So, and it was about 35% of my prior year of that 105.
Oh my God.
So like
that's crazy.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
And then next year my bonus will be based on what I'm making, that 117 I'm making this year. So, and the percentage might change depending on how, I do or how they feel they should pay me.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
congrats.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's
It's a huge
amazing.
pay raise
It was
since we
cool.
last spoke.
Yeah, no, it was definitely, and they also have like other things that like not only too in the weeds of it, but they like add things to your retirement account too. It's kind of at like the firm's discretion and whatnot. So it's been it's really nice, and I think it's quite it's definitely in the field of accounting. It's a quite lucrative career.
Yeah.
I'm 26, and I feel like that's when I moved to New York at 23, that was more money than I could ever imagine. You know what I mean?
You could
So-
still become John
Yeah.
Summit. John Summit was an
CPA.
accountant.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I see
And,
him. His post on Instagram. It's a little. It feels a little mean. He's like at the beach. He's like, terrible day to be an accountant right now. And he's like on the thing. I'm like, yeah, you're definitely true. You're definitely right.
I can easily see you see his lifestyle too. But I have a bunch of questions from what you just mentioned there. So starting with the actual role right now, when you're making 105K, the title was junior.
It was just like an analyst, I guess.
Oh,
They're
okay.
the terms are kind of, I don't know. It's like a tiered structure. Eventually, you jump from analyst to associate.
So it's
depending on-
associate level 2.
Pretty much.
Something like that? Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So
that
that's
makes
just kind of
sense.
how it works in the firm. That's how it works in most asset managers or any sort of like finance job or
Yeah.
other companies do too. But I think that's just kind of what I know.
Yeah.
Definitely not like I mean, obviously like every day you're given new challenges and new opportunities, but it's not necessarily like, oh, you're an associate now, you need to do this, that, and that. It's more like, hey, like you're doing what you're doing, but we're going to expect more out of you to be better at what you're doing because you've been here longer, which is not like a, hey, you need to do this, but it's just like, hey, like you've been here. This is the natural progression that comes with the job.
When I became senior too, that's literally all it was. You get paid more. They know that you can do your work, and no one really just says anything to you outside of that.
Yeah.
But
the goodwill of working hard does pay off. Like
Yeah.
I think there's really is this like intangible goodwill. I mean, it sounds cliche, but like I do think that like this trust that you build by just taking initiative or taking action or just being proactive on something, it does pay dividends in the future.
And they
for sure.
notice. Like, people notice
Yeah.
more than you think.
yeah, because proof is in the pudding. At 26,
Proof is in the
you've-
pudding.
Yeah, you got.
Sorry.
That's a good tapioca.
Why is that even a saying? Actually, proof is in the
Proof-
pudding.
I
What,
have
what does
no
that even mean?
idea.
That was Big Pudding trying to sell extra
Big
Big
Pudding.
Pudding.
They're
Was trying to go to more
lobbying.
senior homes and sell more pudding, and they said the proof is there. You have to buy it.
It's in there. You
That's-
gotta dig.
That's marketing 101 right
That
there.
actually makes no sense. So you don't have to look up proof is in the pudding
I'm
and the
not.
reasoning behind it, because
Yeah.
whoever made it makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Big Pudding. They were at a big board meeting, and they're like, how do we produce sales? The guy's like, I got it.
That's a great idea.
That
Yeah,
is a
right.
good idea.
I am John Hamm. I am Mad Men.
Let's get you in a room and just like with a pen and paper think
Yeah.
about Eat My Assets and how we could make
That's
that.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Eat my
Anyways,
assets.
what proof is in the pudding?
Yeah.
Sorry, cut you off
His
there.
proof is in the pudding.
Oh.
whatever that means to you. It's
Whatever it
correct.
does. Yeah. But
But you went from grad 22.
Yep.
And you've been through what, 3 or 4 up to this point you've been through 3 or 4 upgrades. Like,
yeah.
what was that journey like? What was your initial role? How much are you making?
Yeah.
And how'd you end up here?
No, that's a good question, because it's definitely the field of accounting. Kind of, it's a lot of people aren't really too sure. It's you go in, and I went to school in the Big Ten, and I did like a 5-year master's program, and I got my master's in accounting, but also the program was cool because I could also double major in accounting and finance, because I was like, I don't know what the heck I want to do. Let me open up as many baskets, or open up as many doors as I possibly can. Decided to do this 5-year program, and then the program is really good to get you into the Big 4 accounting firms. Like almost every kid I was in my class got a job at the Big 4, because it's like probably the better. I mean, aside from like the Wall Street Club, like that was like the program that you were going to get like a good job, like a pretty
So
good
you knew
job.
that coming into the
Nice.
program, it was pretty much guaranteed to get into the Big Four if you joined.
Yeah, and I didn't know much. I
interesting.
still
I
don't
didn't
know
know
what I want, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
in my life. But I knew that job security was like super important to me. I think it was just something I was like, I really want to make sure I feel stable and secure. So accounting was what I landed on, and I think I'm pretty. I'm definitely pretty hard on myself at work every day, but I do think I'm pretty good at it. And so I did that for my 5th year, and then I got a job at one of the Big Four accounting firms. And I was just like, you're a staff level accountant, and you're just kind of doing
Making how much?
60K.
With bonus or anything, or is 60K?
So you only get a bonus of 5K if you pass the CPA exam within your first year.
Oh,
That
I
seems
remember that.
Yeah.
crazy low for Big Four.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big.
Well,
that seems low for. You're right.
yeah.
Well, you hear the
It's-
term Big Four, but
Yeah.
I think that's a common salary though. Actually, in the
It's-
Big Four.
I would say, well, so I think, and the one thing that I think a lot of people, especially like what you guys are seeing in social media, is like these people like a day in the life at Deloitte Consulting.
We just were making
Yeah.
fun of that the other
They don't
day.
say their salary though.
Yeah,
They
but
talk
also
about
they
it.
make a lot more. Consulting
Oh.
makes tangibly more than what an auditor does, because
Oh.
these companies that hire the Big Four firms pay at a higher clip for a consulting project, where an audit is more so like a regulatory thing where you have to get it done every time. So it's kind of more like a fixed rate.
So who
I
are the
don't know.
Big Four in accounting right now? Who are the ones that you're talking about?
EY, Ernst & Young, EY, PwC, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, and then KPMG, which KPMG is like, I could never even tell you what the KPMG is. It's like a long German thing.
Yeah, I had a couple friends that work there too. I don't know what they
It's
do.
like telling someone who went to Duke how to spell Shashevsky.
I don't know how to spell
Yeah,
it.
I don't
so
know.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef, I don't even know how to say that.
There's a K in there.
Yeah,
for
there is
sure.
there's a Y,
Well, in
a
the
couple
beginning,
Z's
in the beginning,
in the
not in the-
beginning, and a couple.
Not gonna try.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
That's why you need KPMG.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's Coach K. But yeah, the Big Four, and I think they're all like, I don't know. I also don't want to. I think that every job that they provide is tangibly like it's good, and I think you are providing a tangible good to the client. At least I believe that. So I think it is good. But you see a lot of these jobs that are boasted on TikTok when there is another side to the firms where it's more auditing. It's not as like pretty or anything. But
Glam.
Oh, so
Glam.
even in like your firm in particular, there is that side of consulting that was different than the side that
the
you're
audit.
on.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
got
And
you.
so, but
And
like
that-
audit is but the one thing is that like audit is 100,000% necessary, where a lot of consulting projects like are obviously necessary to an extent, but like every company needs to get an audit
It's
done.
a
if they're,
strategy.
like a public
like
thing.
consulting's
So
just strategy, but
yeah.
yours is
Whereas like
real.
everyone needs an audit. If you like
Yeah.
you're a public issuer, or sometimes you're like a private company, you need to have these financial statements. So you need to have like intelligent accountants look at these numbers and verify that this is
Yeah.
like good.
And you're doing audits for big companies.
Yeah, we were doing
You're
we-
letting kids do that for big companies.
yeah,
Six-
it's
I know, like,
crazy.
so much
and-
responsibility.
And it's like the retention rate for a lot of kids is really like myself. Like I
Yeah.
left after less than 2 years, and also they entrusted a lot in me, and me leaving left big shoes for the kids beneath me to fill, which they did a great job of doing.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know, you put these kids through tense situations, and then you're like, oh, like, okay, now here's a job where you only work 9 to 5 and you're gonna make way more. Why would you leave? Why would you do that? But like,
Yeah.
I think I don't know, kids are gonna leave and have like a job that I don't know provides. It's a little bit easier on the life and get free lunch.
Did you ever
Exactly.
get? Yeah. Did you ever get promotions there while you're there?
We
at
did. So
UI?
we got me and my really really good friend. We started together, and we both got like this like early promotion. Especially it was like kind of during COVID. I think a lot of people were pretty down on like their luck. Everyone's like working from home, but then they gave us these early promotions, and I felt good. But I don't know. It was more so like, hey, look, we're celebrating you, but we're gonna raise your salary like a very tiny percent.
How much did they raise? If you don't mind me asking.
So they gave us a 5K bonus for the promotion, and then they raised us from like, because it was like year 2 to year 2.5, or no, year 1 after year 1 to year 1.5. It was like 67 to like 73,
Okay.
which was fine, right?
I
but
mean,
like
sizable percentage wise.
Yeah.
sizable percentage wise, but still peanuts to like the work that.
Yeah,
Again, I don't want to say
definitely.
peanut because I know that's a lot of money, but I think like relative to like the amount of work you
Yeah.
were doing, I never want to
100%.
say that amount of money is like small or anything, but I
Yeah.
think that like if you're comparing it to a lot of other jobs that people start at, I think it can kind of be like that. But it's
100%.
still, and also too, I think there is like there's more of a intangible value to like learning, which sounds dumb and not dumb, but it sounds like cliche. Like, oh, you're getting a good learning opportunity and you can't really put a price on that. But there are situations where you probably can't put a price on that, and
Yeah.
it's like actually tangibly making like I feel like I know my job and I'm good at a job that is a bit more lucrative because of the times that I spent on, like some of my EY jobs where I was kind of in like the nuts and bolts of things, like grinding.
Yeah, that's why putting in effort into it too, like you'll get that return over time. Because
Yeah.
even the company I joined, it wasn't a secret. When I was speaking with like the founder and the VP at the time, there was like 6 employees. But
Yeah.
biggest thing for me was like, okay, I want to learn how a startup actually works from the ground up.
Yeah.
Because I came into the company that had like 0 in ARR. That means they're pretty much like making
Yeah.
it's a business that just got funding, and we're like, okay, we're gonna find product market
Yeah.
fit.
Let's do something. Yeah.
So it's been an invaluable experience for like
100%.
myself, and at least coming into a job knowing, okay, what kind of like high level skill am I gonna get out of this? That
Yeah.
at least helps, even if you don't like or love the job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You just
So
get to be a
speak.
nice little sponge floating around, soaking in that
Exactly.
information.
Yeah. You knew that you're gonna get into a big 4 school, but like, how much did the masters cost to get that kind of job?
It's a good
if that makes
question.
sense?
So I don't know if all my accountants out here are listening. I don't know if the master's in accounting degree. The master accounting degree is great for like my mom, when she can like frame it, but like it's not very useful at all.
Oh,
like
really?
it really, like in accounting, they make you have to have 150 credit hours to take the CPA exam.
Oh.
That's all the firms care about. They don't care. Having a master's degree shows like, hey, you have a good aptitude and like you're smart and you're coming from a good school. So that's one thing. It's not here nor there, but like, I don't know, if you're really considering getting a job in like Big Four accounting or just trying to get into like accounting in any field, just get your 150 and get out. Like, I was doing that 5th year was great because I had a 5th year at Penn State, which was so fun.
Oh.
And all my friends would come to visit, but also too, if you're talking just from like a practicality of like your professional life, it's not as necessary.
So you're saying you didn't need it to get into the Big Four?
The master's degree, no.
Yeah.
Just 150 credit hours, which a lot of kids will take like summer courses or just like, I don't know, had a lot of AP credits going into college. So like it really wasn't that hard for them.
Yeah.
Me doing the 5th year, it helped me study for the CPA exam. Like there were a lot of other reasons why I thought it was good. I also had a very, very awesome relationship with my with the program director, and he was able to give me like a scholarship my 5th year.
Mentally
That's
knowing it's a
awesome.
lock too
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something for like a specific purpose.
Yeah. And like kind of knowing you had a job in the bag was great. I
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but like your senior year, because actually I knew I had that job when I got the internship. Because like that's how they work. That's how a lot of jobs work. Like, you
Yeah.
get the job, and not to say like that's how I shouldn't say that's how all jobs work, but I was fortunate enough that like that was a situation where like I got the internship and I was like, okay, I know that I just need to go to
Do
the
well.
internship, go to the internship and learn. They're gonna give me the job, and so having that security makes it feel a little bit better.
You're
Like,
way more intentional when you're older in
Yeah.
college. In the beginning of college, we don't really know
Yeah.
what we're studying for.
I found the most joy I had that year was tutoring kids. Tutoring
Oh,
kids
yeah.
been below me in like the hardest, like the weed out class of the program. I was like tutoring kids, like helping kids with their homework, and that was also something that the director of the program got me set up with. And I was like, dang, like that helped because I felt that like what I was learning was like tangibly helping someone else, which is like cliche, but
No, that's
it was
great.
Yeah, that makes
really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. And I got
Was
to just
that like volunteering or was that paid?
I got paid.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Like
awesome.
these kids' parents would just Venmo me like $15 an hour for me just helping them with their homework. I was like,
Was
this
it
is
supposed to
delightful.
technically be free and they were just Venmoing you, or was
No, it was we had like an agreement. It was like a contract thing.
Oh,
Like,
gotcha.
yeah, like you guys are just gonna pay me.
Handshake
Like under the
agreement.
table.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, you gotta afford those Bud Lights somehow. That's
It's
true.
cheap out. It's cheap out there.
Oh,
In
brother.
Happy Valley?
Yeah, like they're like
Yeah.
alumni will come up and they're like, "Oh, this whole table's mine. Like I'm gonna buy everyone a drink." And you're like a college student. You're like, "Oh my god, like what is this? This guy just bought me a $3.50 pitcher." Like, and you're like going crazy about it, but you're like, "Dang!" Like you realize, I mean, especially living in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, $3.50 buys you like a napkin with a Bud Light stain on it.
Yeah,
Like
if you're
that's
lucky.
nothing.
Depends
So-
which restaurant you're at.
Yeah, that's like being permission to go inside Carbone for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's like not even to use the bathroom.
not even
just
use
to
the bathroom.
Stand in there.
Yep. It was
Barely.
like if like Kim Kardashian was here like 8 months ago, you can like be in the presence for
Yeah.
at least half a second.
I'm
Like,
like,
I'd pay $10.
Only half a second.
Only
Yeah.
half a second.
paid a little bit more, but
Yeah,
I'm like everyone else. I've only been to Penn State for Art Fest.
Me
if I haven't
too.
been there, like,
great place.
yeah, it's like outsiders go to Penn State for
You're
Art
right.
Fest.
I guess
you
it's
know?
not that unique, huh?
It's
It's
cool.
kind of cool. It's in the
It's
middle of the
great.
summer.
Yeah.
It's
so
so
it's
fun.
nice out.
There's one
Yeah, why
fraternity.
not?
I won't say fraternity names, but there's one that is like the Arts Fest fraternity where they have just this giant yard and everyone just stands
I
in
know what
there
you're
in their
talking
like
I might have
Philadelphia
probably been there.
76ers jerseys.
Oh
and-
my God. When I went to Arts Fest, that was the year going into college, and I woke up in an apartment or whatever random girl's house. Like,
Damn.
or I don't
Oh,
even
you were
know.
telling me. I remember
Yeah,
you talking about
I had
this.
a flashback recently when I was telling you about it. That's dangerous.
Was that
Yeah,
like?
it's not good.
Did you make friends? Did you like? How
Well,
do
I
you?
woke up and I was like, where are my friends? They were like, we just found you in the parking lot. I was like, I was sleeping in the parking lot. They're like, yeah, we just like brought you in.
That's very
Yes.
nice.
That's nice of them.
I hope my
very
dad doesn't
nice.
listen to this.
I
one.
hope you had a good
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're doing out there.
I got lucky.
It hasn't gotten any better. I'll tell you that much. The degree though, how much did that that master's cost?
So it was literally the nice thing is that it was like they call it an integrated program. So I was paying undergrad tuition for it.
Nice.
So I really and because I got that really nice scholarship from my director. I mean, it really wasn't that much. It was probably an extra like $4,000 to $5,000 of my like student loans. Like it was probably an extra couple grand on my student loans. In the grand scheme
That's
of
it
things,
for the
whole year?
For the whole
Yeah.
year? Wow.
I mean, candidly,
That's
I
crazy.
do currently have like $80,000 of student loan debt, so quite a bit. But
Gotcha.
I mean, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna graduate with either 75 or 80. Like, let me
Yeah,
do
at
it
that
this way.
point,
So
it's
it's like
pennies
it's
on
fine.
the
And
dollar.
I get to also pay a premium to like hang out with my friends and have my friends come back from
Exactly.
college, come back. So like,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, if you guys can go to Penn State, maybe ignore what I said about 150 credit. Like, stay as long as you can.
I like how you're wearing a ring, by the way. This is
Oh
kinda
yes,
sounding
yeah.
like
So
together.
yeah, my girlfriend got this for me, and it's like my favorite thing.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, it was really it's I'm a ring guy. You guys inspired me too. You guys have been trying to put me on.
I was asking everyone what their ring sizes were,
Yes.
all the guys and whatnot. 'cause
I don't
was
know
trying to
why.
figure out.
I'm unsure, but that's great. Yeah, my girlfriend got me told me
Only
I'm
the
a 9.
guys.
Yeah, because the boys are going to the ranch.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
Houston.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna get a little weird at the ranch.
Del
Uh-huh.
Rio.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that should be a good
Yep.
time.
It's gonna
Good
be
rings.
bad day to be a Bud Light. Bad afternoon to be
Rings for the boys.
and just a lot of steaks.
Dude, the 80K debt, by the way, that's
Quite a bit.
yeah.
Thankfully-
like, how do you plan on approaching?
I think that there's I find myself that I kind of went into college knowing I was going to have I didn't realize 80K until I was graduated, but I knew I was going to have some debt. I was like, holy smokes, that's a lot of money.
That's just crazy. At 18, they just like,
I
oh
know.
yeah,
Like,
pay
oh,
this
yeah.
debt.
That's
And it's-
insane.
And it's
You
tough.
have no idea
like,
the concept of money. You're just,
and these institutions, I mean, I can go on a whole tirade about it. The institutions shouldn't be charging you like these institutions shouldn't be charging this much money for kids to go there. So I mean, it's an issue, but also it's something that like I'm really fortunate in the regard that like I was able to kind of get a career that allows me to kind of pay that off, where a lot of
Yeah.
people don't,
yeah.
and it's tough. And I think it bases in it does put like 18-year-old kids in like quite a tough situation. It's like
Yeah.
if you want to pursue a career that like can be lucrative by the time you're like imagine being like a doctor. Where like you're going, I mean, it's a job that's one, obviously it is lucrative, but two, it's also you're having a tangible impact in the world. But telling a kid that they're 18 years old, like, oh yeah, if you want to do that, you're gonna have to be like $300,000 in the hole.
Exactly. And you
It's
can't even
bananas.
start paying that off till like you're in your 30s.
Yeah,
I was telling my 14-year-old cousin, he's won a bunch of science awards and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like a
Aw.
super dork.
Aw.
And I was like, only get into it if you love it. I was like,
yeah,
you don't want to be in there unless you know you're gonna be doing that every day.
yeah.
And he's 14. He's like, no, I love science. And I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
no, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
Oh, we're cooking.
We're a lot better.
We're cooking with grease. Actually, I don't even know what that means. That
Cooking
sounds
with grease.
it sounds
Cooking
dangerous.
with grease.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
now we're
yeah. Is
cooking
that
with
dangerous?
grease.
Is
it
that dangerous?
I mean, I guess that's like how you cook like a steak and like a burger.
Proof
Maybe
is in the
it's like-
grease.
Proof is in the grease. That big grease is also trying to market.
I'm
Wait,
trademarking this.
Cooking with grease. I guess it means like we're on the side of like. Oh, I really want to know what that means.
Cooking with grease.
Cooking with grease. Well, it's like how you cook burgers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just like now we're cooking with grease. Like, is that like a good thing?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Everyone says it's super like, yeah, this is what we're talking about.
Kieran Culkin, I used to work at the talent management company that reps him.
Oh, yeah.
And I had
I
to
noticed too.
drop off his passport to him to get it. Like, we had to get it renewed. So he just opened the door and I was like, hey, here.
Yeah.
It's my one fun story.
That's not the guy from Home Alone, right?
It is.
No, that
It's his
Macaulay.
brother, but he is in Home Alone.
Oh,
He
that's
is. He
why.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
why.
one of the.
Yeah.
He's the
people in
youngest,
the family.
younger kids.
He's
yeah.
the main little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Kieran
just saw an
Culkin.
interview recently that apparently a lot of people get him confused with all of his brothers.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
look very similar.
That's why I thought
Yeah.
they're the same.
Yeah.
More on the budgeting side.
Yes, of course.
With 80K, you're making a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
But it's still the 80K in debt. Like, how do you budget each month? Like, how much are you pulling in, and from there, how much do you invest? How much do you put in rent? Like,
yeah.
You know,
So I think one nice thing is that with this student loan moratorium or whatever they're calling it, I haven't had to pay any of my debt since COVID started.
Oh, right.
Yeah, since the pandemic started.
that's still going on.
Yeah,
right now? Wow.
Yeah. So it's supposed to end because there's a congressional hearing. I guess it's like the Senate. I forget the order of it, but the Senate. There are like senators who like didn't. It's a lawsuit. So like they're waiting for like their lawsuit hearing because they're saying it's like unconstitutional. But so I guess however that long that goes, it's either when that gets figured out or June 30th, which then I think it's like a 60 days after June 30th. So I don't think I'd have to make a student loan payment until like August.
And they won't make you retroactively pay, is what you're saying?
No.
Either. Okay.
Yeah, which is nice. And like it's either they're either gonna pay down, like if you had a certain income threshold, they'll pay down like $10,000, $10,000 to $20,000 of your debt.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, which benefits people, a lot of people who probably need a lot more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I am in that threshold, so like I would get that, which would be cool.
Take the money.
Take the money, right? Like I'm not gonna say no to it. But yeah, no, it's I haven't had to pay it for a while, so I've had that in mind when I save. Like when I ever get my paycheck, obviously I want to pay my like credit card bills, my rents, my necessities. But I'm like, all right, whatever I have left, I'm just like investing, and by the nature of my job, I can only put my money into like ETFs and stuff. Like I'm not like actually putting money in the stock market.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But I'm just putting money into like ETFs that follow the market and just putting it in. And it gets, I got my bonus, and I immediately put after taxes, which was the taxes were killer. But I put my bonus in the market, and the market just it was a terrible day. I think the S&P went down like 2%. I was like, there goes like $2 or $3 grand of the money I just put in. But that's just how it goes. You can never outtime the market.
Yeah.
But I've been like trying to be mindful of that, where I'm like, okay, I get this paycheck. I want to figure out. I always try to figure out how much of this paycheck I can save. So
how much is the paycheck each?
$29.50. Okay. Every 2 weeks.
I thought I was about to say 29K for so, wait, what?
Yeah, I am Jeff Bezos with hair. Red ginger Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
love that.
He is Jack though. So
he's
got some things going
he's
for him.
Jack?
Yeah, he's Jack.
He's a character.
Huh.
That guy's great.
He's crazy. Yeah, we're at Whole Foods earlier.
That guy.
But I try to be conscious of that. So it's like 29, and my rent is about $1,600 right now. Great deal. I don't have to pay any utilities either, which is great.
$5,800 a month for everyone else, right? So it's $2,900.
$2,900 X2, yeah. So
right.
$5,800. So I'm paying about $16 in rent, and then I have like credit card bills. Obviously, like I go out quite a bit. I spend a bit on the weekends, so I'll try to pay down those bills whenever they're due.
How high are those bills usually?
It depends on if I put my card down or other people did. So it was like
That's true.
because I get like the Venmos and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's usually maybe like $400 a weekend sometimes, $400 to $500 a weekend.
That sounds
checks
about
out, right?
Yeah,
and that's like
1,600 to 2,000.
Wow, guys, why do we do this?
golly,
to ourselves
right? I'm like, if I
sometimes?
picked like a new hobby up, I'd be quite wealthy right now. Like if I just like decided to start knitting on a Friday, or just like doing other things.
It's weird
that are
because
probably
like, what do you do in New York if you're not doing that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. And they're like,
Yeah.
I see these other TikToks. They're like, and this is obviously just my judgment, but they're like, oh, fun things to do in New York, and it's like a pottery class. I'm like, oh man.
And that's like $95
Like,
right there.
exactly though. Even the
is
fun
this
things
it?
are like
Expensive.
Yeah. And I get it. Like people enjoy that. I just don't. So like, I guess
Mhm.
my one hobby is running, but it's also so cold outside that I can't really get tangible joy out of that yet.
Yeah.
When the summer comes, it'll be great, but it's also, I don't know. So I think that's what we do. You know what I mean? We go out in New
That's
York
what
and
we
it's like, hey, I'm going to go spend $35 on 3 Bud Lights.
How much do you think you're leaving then for like savings and investing on a typical month?
Every month I try to put, I also contribute, I think 6% to my 401k.
401k,
So I don't even consider that.
Yeah,
I
that's already out there.
That's out the door. I don't even consider that money mine. Well, it is, but like it's for, like
it's
to be
yours
smart.
later.
Yeah, it's mine. It's like old geezer ass me. Like, like I always imagine myself when I'm older, I'm gonna be like 5'4". I'm gonna get much shorter.
We'll come back to the show like 40 years later.
You'll have like episode 79.
It's when the
and-
401k
But
is
that
unlocked.
Eat My Assets tattoo is gonna get like
Oh my
stretched
God.
out.
Yeah.
It's gonna look
It's
good.
gonna look ugly.
I want to get it. I can only get it in Comic Sans font though.
Oh yeah.
It has
yeah.
to- or
Only.
Wingdings. But I think the 6% is gone out the door. Don't consider that. So outside of that, I try to save about, and this is the number will change when I have to start paying my loans off again. Try to put $2,000 in savings every month.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've been pretty close.
That's really good.
Every month I've been pretty close, and I also think I've been spending a little bit more than I would out of my reason a little bit, but also still probably putting like $2K.
Bro, that's a lot. 40% of like what you're making, you're just putting it in there.
Oh, that
That's
is
great.
really
It's not
nice.
bad. I've been trying.
I
I'm trying.
love that.
You know what I mean? Also, too, like the free lunches add up, and like if we
Yeah.
work
Oh,
late,
you're
we get
right.
free dinner. So I mean, that's just like little things add up, but also too, like I do think that it does. I'm at this age that I don't think I need to be as protective as I am, but I do think if I can just find little things to tangibly make, like your dollar's going to stretch so far if you can just find little opportunities to save.
Compounded over time is what
Yeah,
you're
like
saying,
doing a lift that's the wait and save for 10. It's always like $3 cheaper, and it always comes in a minute. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You never have to wait
You're
for
right.
it.
That's also
Right?
true. Every
You
time I've
never-
used it.
You never have to wait for it.
I never really think about like how the little dollars can just add up.
And you just find like little ways to stretch a dollar. I mean, it goes without saying you do time value money or anything, but like, I don't know, just kind of like having a number in your mind. Like, I guess that 2K is like my number.
Yeah.
How do I get to that 2K? And like, oh, I was able to save like 2,100 instead. Like, that's another W. You know what I mean? Like, find these like, my first thoughts like, oh, what Jordans am I going to buy with that $100? But if I can change that thinking, which I've been trying to do, it's definitely like a way to help you. Like, I don't know, because I feel like the $20 that I'm saving when I'm 26, like you put that in the money market, or you put that into an investment and it compounds. You know what I mean? That's more than $20, and it's probably more important to you later in life than it is you right now.
It's the most
You're
unsexy thing to
inspiring
talk
me right
about.
now,
Oh, it's the
Logan.
worst.
But everyone talks about it. It's the most unsexy thing to talk about. It's like just the way of the world, how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I bought $50 in groceries at Trader Joe's today. It could probably feed me for like 2 weeks. It was great.
Yeah, that's
And then
nice.
Wrap that up by buying $50 worth of like just lunch.
You got to treat yourself. You got
Come
to
back home, like Uber Eats, just get a $50 lunch, and you know what?
Yeah.
It's because I earned it in Trader Joe's.
You earned it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or just like I'll get mad at myself, like the drunk food thing, which I know we talked about in episode 2, but I'm like, dang, like I get like a whole
Sammy's
the
Halal.
Sammy's Halal, and I'm like, dang, I didn't even enjoy that. That was awful.
You didn't enjoy it because it's like $9, isn't it?
13. I
Oh,
always
13?
tip.
That's a good
13.
amount.
It's-
yeah.
There's a
it is
Sammy's
$9
Halal near me too now.
It is $9, but then I always get like 2 drinks, and then I always just say, can you charge $2 on top of whatever they charge me? I'm just like, oh, keep that.
Yeah.
Because I like to, I don't know. But also too, I'm worried if I do it through credit card, they're not really seeing it. But I don't know. I'm trying to do something.
They see that. It's the same with the Williamsburg Halal Boys. Shout out. I'm actually in one of their videos.
Oh, let's go.
You are.
That's
The guy
sick.
gets in his speaker. He's like, "Go crazy, go crazy."
And Mike just goes,
Oh, that's so sick.
Is this crazy?
That could be a good sponsor too.
that could.
Oh, that
Halal
could.
guy.
I would eat halal here.
This is sponsored by the white sauce from the halal cart down the street.
And
Again,
like
doesn't
2
take
drops
much.
of the red. That's all you
Only
need.
2, a sensible 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
facts.
take much to get sponsored. Just give us some free food,
Yeah.
and you'll be on the show. You'll be our very first.
I will sell out right away.
Yeah.
We'll just put it right back there next to
Yeah.
everyone's head.
Me and Ron's
Yeah.
have always said it. We're like, we'll definitely sell our
Yeah.
souls to the devil.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever account steals this clip, I will sell out right away. Millions of views, millions of clicks. Look at my face.
Even like with the money that you're saving now, do you
Yeah.
save some of that money, like the 2,000?
Yeah.
Do you have like a slush fund where you're going on some vacations? Because you recently went on a trip
Oh,
to.
right.
Yeah. So I was in Philly this weekend, and me and my girlfriend were in the like upstate New York,
And that was just like a getaway.
the Catskills.
That was
Yeah,
a
it
weekend getaway.
It was interesting. For
How
sure.
much did that cost you total? The weekend getaway in the Catskills?
Gosh, I'm not sure what the rooms were. The rooms were probably, I would say the lodging was probably like $500 to $600 for both of us, and then but honestly, what the most expensive part was the transportation. Because like Uber is not a thing there, and well, it is a thing, and it's like a thing you like don't like you don't want to do Uber because
Oh, no.
we got dropped off in like this town. I'm not gonna say town names. We were in this town, and it was about like a 30-minute car ride from there to the hotel, and so we get in this Uber with a guy, and I mean there was a skateboard in the back. I was like, oh, this guy looks fun. This guy likes to have a good time. I'm gonna like this guy. He gets in the car, and I'm pretty talkative, so we're just talking, and he's like, "That's a 30-minute ride, so can I stop at the gas station and get something to drink?"
I would already get freaked out. Not
Yes.
gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, drink?
like a
No, like a Gatorade.
I imagine if he
Four Loko.
I would have been more
And a
comfortable
30.
if he got a pounder of a Four Loko. He bought a 2-liter of ginger ale.
God.
2 liter.
2 liter of ginger ale.
But did he drink it straight from
Yeah,
the
he took a swig out of it like it was like a like he was a Viking just completing a battle.
Oh my god.
Like he needed his mead. And this guy, he like oh my gosh. We were in the Uber and he does that, which is already a red flag. But we have a 30-minute ride. Let's make the most of it. We're strapped, buckle up.
I'm nervous.
And we're going and he just starts talking to us about things and he's like, oh, like, can I ask you guys like some personal questions? I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah, I guess, right? And so we ask him that and he's like, I'll ask you guys, like, this is what my question would be. He's like, I don't know, what was he saying? He was like, what's like one of your what's something you're afraid of, I guess? Which was, you never want to get that question from like an Uber driver.
First of all,
What's
can we go to
something
the
you're
gas
afraid of?
station? What's something you're
like there was something in the
This is like a
ginger
horror
ale that
movie.
inspired this question.
Oh my god.
And like it was like the world is running out of ginger ale. Like the cordyceps was going to spread to his brain if he didn't finish this ginger ale.
Oh my god.
If you guys watched the last
Yes.
one. Yeah, but jokes aside, he was like asking like, oh, like what's your greatest fear? As we're in this Uber with like no cell service.
Was it nighttime?
It was, the sun was going down. It was almost like a creepier time of night, to
Oh
be
my
honest.
god.
And he's like, like my fear is like losing communication with the people I love.
Oh
my
I was like,
my god.
oh, it's like, what's your favorite song? Like, what kind of music are you listening to? And the guy just keeps talking about it, and he's saying how his family is like not. And again, I don't want to talk about the guy's like personal situation, so I won't go too in depth with it. But he
So
was
nice
giving
of
off very creepy vibes, and I was like, we're gonna get murdered. Like, this
Oh my
is.
god.
I was like,
would be
what do I
so
text my mom? Like, what do I say?
I would have hopped out the car.
Yeah,
But
no,
then there was nowhere to go, right? Because
Yeah.
you were in the middle of nowhere.
like my
kind of.
girlfriend was saying that she was thinking about just tucking and rolling. I was like, you have more initiative than I do because I had
It's
no
worth the
idea
torn
what to do.
ACL. It is.
Yeah, a torn
Yeah,
ACL
like-
is a victory in that situation. That is a W.
Because you're alive.
Yeah, I will take 3 new kneecaps.
Oh my
Get a new
God.
knee somewhere else, and I'll figure it
Oh
out.
my
But
God.
it was scary, but also too like I don't know. I almost feel bad like I feel like he was probably just a little bit like socially like
Yeah.
he also like I was talking to my dad about it today, and my dad was like he probably just wanted to get this off his chest. But he
True.
also was just like presented like if you're an Uber driver and you're picking up people in a place that they're very unfamiliar, you're not doing a very good job of keeping your drivers
That's
comfortable.
weird.
Your riders
That's really
comfortable.
weird.
I would say the transportation, including like the buses there and back, was probably like $500.
Damn.
Wow.
Honestly,
So if
like
you
for a
rented a
whole
car,
weekend-
then way cheaper
Yes.
to go out there. is
My
what you're
advice:
saying.
if you're going upstate, rent a car.
Wow.
Don't do Uber either. Just walk.
Was that like a $1,500 trip the weekend? And
Yeah, probably a little less. We also hung out with the locals, had a good time.
Nice.
the locals can't beat that. That's why you
It
have
was
the
our
luxury
1-year
to save.
anniversary, so it was
Oh,
really nice.
congrats.
Yeah.
So you have the luxury to do this because you've been managing your finances pretty well. Helps
I think
not
so.
having to pay for the student loans
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit.
I do think, and I think that's something I also like. Always put a premium on, right? Like I think you always kind of have to like. That's so like I don't know, being as frugal as you can and making sure that you're saving money is important, but like having those like tangible experiences with the people you care about is like really what matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
100%.
like
I
I'll
agree with
put
that.
a premium on like if just doing anything with my friends where I can just be with
Yeah.
everyone. Like
Experience.
I don't care how much expensive New York is. I'm gonna be there for that.
That's what I say every time my friend from Houston comes back.
I know.
Oh man.
Sends me a Venmo.
Yeah,
I got
like,
5
ooh, it's
Venmos after
devast-
that weekend, and I was like,
Damn, this hurts.
That's
It happened
devastating for the
again.
bank account. But also like,
I think I had fun.
I think I had a good
like,
time.
honestly,
At least if you had fun, it's
exactly.
fine.
If you
The
told me
amount-
I had fun, I'd believe you.
I also, I mean, the amount of DoorDash orders, the amount of $40. I know he's gonna watch this, but the amount of $40 Taco Bells you've left at your door.
Yeah. And then open the door the next day and be like,
Oh, you're like no.
that was
That's
a good impression.
Devastating. And there's like glasses of red wine, like
Yeah.
assortments of red wine.
I've
I know
woken
you're
up
gonna
at
know
like
this.
6 in the morning one time. It was a weekday.
Mhm.
Fell asleep at 1, woke up at 5 or 6, and the Taco Bell is like outside my building because you know it's like it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
automated
yeah,
door.
yeah.
It was just cold as shit like outside my door, and
Yep. It's happened.
I still ate it at 5 in the morning. It was really weird.
It almost like the tears make it taste better.
Exactly.
Sad
Sometimes cold
about
Taco
it.
Bell, like low-key, it's not
It hits.
bad.
yeah.
Well, because I think the Doritos Locos Taco, I think that shell's like made of something. It's like that could survive like a nuclear war.
You got to go back to stand up.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
When you were doing stand up too, were you getting paid by the way?
No,
Were you doing
no,
that?
no, no.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very much like a you pay thing.
Oh, you had to pay.
Yeah, like you have to pay. Like there's certain clubs.
You
gotta-
had to pay.
You had
Yeah,
to pay at the
there's, like-
one down in Bushwick?
Yeah.
Oh.
And well, it's like you buy drinks. Like they're like, hey,
Oh,
you're here,
okay.
you got to buy some drinks from us, and it's a great place. There's some.
Oh,
fun
yeah.
people.
That was a great place.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
that's honestly something I really want to start picking up again. I think work's been so crazy, and then training for the marathon took a lot of time out.
That's
of that
right.
Too,
You
so
did the
Yes, the
I've been
marathon.
quite Thank you. I've been quite busy.
How much can you make through that path though? Like, do you know
Oh,
how much
co-
other
comedy?
comedians are making
Gosh,
over
no.
there?
I think, but I do see a guy who was hosting the night I did it. I mean, that guy is grinding. He's all over the place doing stand up everywhere, and like that's a different like that's a grind that like if you really want to pursue it and like you're really good, you have to like quit your day job. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that needs to be your day job, which is like a lot to ask of
Yeah.
me, but. I do think it's like, do you see people, and you do see some genuinely super, super, super funny dudes. But yeah, that's a tough challenge I've seen. Not
So
challenge,
everyone there wasn't making money. They're all
I don't know.
doing-
A lot of those. One of the guys I actually knew pretty well, and he's like a great accountant. He's actually an accountant. He's like a super smart guy.
something about accountants makes you
Yeah.
want to
I
pursue
know.
something.
super smart dude. And you're being
Yeah.
vulnerable. And I think if you're doing, because a lot of these open mics, it's you and other comedians, and so like a lot of people aren't the nicest. They're a little bit judgmental, and they kind of want to break you down. But there's also too with love, because they kind of want to break you down to build
Yeah.
you up a little bit. But it's like it's not the most conducive for you to. You have to be vulnerable, so you have to put yourself out there. And
That's crazy.
it's cool though, and it's fun as hell. I'd like to do it. I'd like to start doing it again, but
Yeah.
add that to the list of my tons of hobbies I like to.
And that's
Figure out my
less for the
passions, but-
financial stuff. That's more just for like
Yeah.
recreation or
Yeah.
some making it big.
Yeah, it'd be so funny. Like maybe I'll just have a TikTok that goes big one day.
I was about to say, you should start doing TikTok clips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should.
Probably be
They
sick.
land.
They do.
Like
Yeah.
there's one dude I'm following now on TikTok. His name is Matt something. He pops up everywhere. He was
Oh, Matt. Oh, Matt Rife.
yeah.
I love him.
Matt Rife.
Oh.
That's sweet.
Have you
Love
do you
it.
know Matt Rife?
I don't know Matt Rife.
He was on a TV show too, but he does like stand up comedy everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Now
He was
and-
on Wild 'N Out, and then
Oh, he was on Wild Now too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he's been killing it. Like all his videos are getting millions of views.
and
Man,
all
that's
of his shows
awesome.
are sold out.
Oh, that's so sick.
Insane.
Because you know what's cool too is because like on the TikTok side, he's just able to cut the clip how he wants it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, like I listen to stand up like guys on comedy podcasts, and like your audience with TikTok is infinite. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you go to an open mic, it's just gonna be a bunch of people that like kind of want to see you fail. Whereas TikTok, everyone's just swiping around. He's like, "Oh, this guy's funny as
Exactly.
heck," you know.
And
That's
you
what
never
I-
know who could
Yeah.
see it.
Like this guy's
too.
talking about the green M&M like ad nauseum. Why is he so attracted to this thing? And now your audience, instead of you being a creep in a stand-up, you're actually like,
Yeah,
Killing it on
exactly
TikTok.
though.
that's what I
exactly.
was talking to Roz when we first started this. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be spending 30 minutes to 45 minutes on a clip, and it might get 2 views.
yeah.
But you literally just need to keep posting and posting and posting.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
one of them, and that's how we started
Yeah.
blowing up on.
Mhm.
I mean, I also think it's not even like you guys are posting things that aren't like legitimately helpful. You know what I mean? You guys
Yeah.
are posting things that like I think a lot of people can take and digest and actually like it's digestible information you need to know.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think a lot of things that we consume on TikTok and other social
Mhm.
medias is kind of like it's nonsense. My girlfriend knows I watch dumb videos till like 3 in the morning, but like if you actually can like give someone something that's digestible or something that's like informative, but also in like a digestible format like you guys are doing, like that's like huge.
Yeah, what
Oh,
I've heard
yeah.
from like friends recently, like my content creator friends, most of the money that they're making is typically from the YouTube side.
Yeah.
TikTok not so much, but they build a following there. and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's still hard to get the following outside of the platform, but Spotify surprisingly, and then also Snapchat. Like they're
Wow.
actually paying their creators. Like
Spotify, really?
Spotify's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Their analytics are
Snapchat
kind of
is?
ass. Snapchat's paying the creators a lot
I didn't
right
know
now.
that.
Apparently,
Well, I know
Yeah.
Spotify's like changing their interface, right? They're making it
Yeah.
like very like a TikTok.
Yeah, they
Oh.
want to make
Yeah.
it like because it is a creator platform
Oh,
for
like,
sure.
in
Yeah.
a way, right? And
Yeah.
I can't
I just think it's
imagine
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it's cool. Like those are just like different avenues that you could take, like comedy stuff.
Yeah. No, I like laughter. That's fun. But I think and that's the other thing too is like I think that having like that's a goal of mine has just been genuinely find hobbies and things I'm like passionate about because I mean I think everyone finds their jobs quite I don't know if everyone finds their jobs as stimulating as anything, so I think it's important. I've been trying to find a lot more hobbies.
Yeah.
Like I started a running Instagram.
Yes, we love it.
Thank you.
What's the goal with the running Instagram, by the way?
Honestly, just like I don't know, like scrapbooking something I'm passionate about.
Mm.
Because honestly, it's something I'm just like I don't know. I think I'm obviously I feel like at 26, it's almost like this, like not existentialism, but like career existentialism or anything. I feel like I've not lost, but like my passions are out there in like the muddy waters, and I'm trying to like pick it up and get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually am interested in two things, in particular. One of them being, what's the worst financial decision you've made?
Oh, damn.
Maybe starting off there, yeah. What was the worst financial decision you've made?
Golly. I don't know. I feel like nothing's devastated me. Nothing's left me to ruin.
Except that Uber, that $40 Uber.
Yeah, well, that was more just like life safety. Gosh, I'm trying to think of something because I get mad at myself for certain things that I just spent money on.
It's a tough one.
Golly, I feel like everything I've done's been like not a home run, but I think it's been good. I'm trying to sound
First
humble.
base.
Yeah, it's at least been a single. Okay, I'm not the biggest crypto guy. I would say probably my biggest financial regret is putting money into Bitcoin when I could have just put it in the market. I think it's just having that much money. I put a decent amount of money into that much of a volatile asset, and yeah, it's going up more now. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's not the worst thing in the world, but I think if you're talking like pure financial decisions, I think that's something I just wish I put it into the stock market. And
why did you lose money in that?
I lost about, honestly, because I was at a point when like it was during COVID and like Bitcoin was blowing up. I was just putting money. I was putting money I was willing to lose into Bitcoin, but eventually a lot of the money I was willing to lose became a lot of money because I was just like $200 every paycheck, and I was like, let me just put this in here. But $200 after a good amount of paychecks, that's actually a lot of money that I would not like to lose.
Yeah.
So I wish I did just put that in the market, even though the market is not great right now. I think it's kind of, I just would have felt more comfortable, and maybe
you got dividends too, like
and maybe 10 years from now I might sound stupid saying that, but I do think that was something. I look at my Coinbase, I'm like, oh man, I really wish I just put that.
Did you lose a lot of money on that? Like how percentage wise?
Gosh, I put in like $3,000. I've lost about $2,000 of it.
Oh damn! Wow. Bitcoin fell 66%.
Yeah, it fell quite a bit. Crazy. Yeah, I was putting a lot of money in when I was at 60.
Damn. And were you investing? Like, what was driving you to invest in that?
I think it was.
I have too.
I genuinely, I do think I was going through a period where I did believe in the asset a lot. And I do think Bitcoin, I think, has more staying power than the other crypto. I'm no expert, but I just what I would read up and did like care to do like research on. I was like, I believe a little bit more in this asset.
The blue chip out of the blue chip of the currencies.
Yeah, like I think the guy who made it, what's his name?
Satoshi.
Yeah, Satoshi. Like I think he had a vision with this, and I think it's become distorted a bit with the other cryptocurrencies. But I was like, let me just put this in, and it was going up for a while, and then it just went down. And I'm like, dang, okay.
You're an investor in the art.
Invest in the art. But maybe it's I don't know, maybe, and I'm also like, I'm too stubborn to sell it now.
Makes sense though.
That's what they heard when
it's actually not. It's actually not a $2,000 loss because I just never sold it. So it's a W.
It could still be.
Yeah,
it could be a strikeout. Right now, it's still you're still at bat.
Yeah,
still at bat.
You're still at bat.
It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. I fouled off at least like 13 pitches.
It's more like two strikes, 0 balls right now.
Yeah. I think I got hit with a pitch, but the umpire didn't see it.
That'd be great if you got hit by a pitch. That'd be great for you.
That's like a Bitcoin car hits me, and I get sue them in a lawsuit or something. But I do think if you're talking like other regrets, it's something I've just thought about more. And obviously in New York, it's super hard to think about things this way. But buying property is something I really want to get into. I'm not as liquid as I like to be able to do that, but that's something I just feel like that's such a sure thing. Yeah. That would be like a home run or like a stolen base or something. Like that would be like baseball.
I love these metaphors.
It would be. I think for me that would be good especially because like as much as I love New York City, and I think owning something in New York City that like I could even like pass to like my kids or my grandkids or something. Like that's important. And I think that's one of the signs of stability is owning it, but also the housing market is also not great. No market is good right now.
Even through COVID, it wasn't. I was just curious. I was looking at Street Easy, and the apartments were like raising.
Yeah,
like what is going on?
It's
here?
crazy. But I think that's one thing. I think that's something that like not so much a regret, but like I would kind of like to dip my fingers into that whenever the opportunity becomes like ripe, I guess. But right now I'm just saving my money and figuring out what I want to buy it with. I might just put it into like a Barry Bonds like signed baseball card. I just do the whole thing. Financially ruin myself over this piece of paper.
What are your future financial goals?
I think owning property would be big. And I don't know if that's going to happen either when I'm in New York or when I leave New York. Which I don't know when I'm going to leave New York, but I think I always keep that in the frame of mind. I don't know. I think I was saying this when I was on before. I just think that idea of like financial stability is like so important to me that like that's why I chose a job as an accountant. I think that stability is like super important to me because I'd like to be able to just like constantly provide and give to the people I care about and do these other things. Which is
when did that become a like important thing for you?
I'd say growing up. I think just
it?
growing up, like I think I don't know. My parents did such a good job raising me and my brother. Like I think me and my brother are great kids, and I think that everything they gave us, they like worked so hard for. You know what I mean? And I think regardless, and I think with their hard work too, I do think that like things out of our control kind of made the like later part of me and my brother's childhoods a little bit more difficult financially. And so ever since that happened, I really put a premium on like making sure that like I can have something that withstands something that even may be out of my control. But I think I say that, but also irregardless, my parents did literally so much. They did everything they could, but just making like their lives. I want to make sure that like, you know, you can like sustain that. You know what I mean? I think my parents did such an amazing job, but I know how hard they worked, and I want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think that just that job stability, I think makes things, there's just something I kind of valued at a younger age.
Yeah.
Just kind of more like a realization. I think also too, like I'm not saying like accounting's like this, like, oh, huge step down, like super stable job or anything, but it's like, it is a job that like you can really make a great life out of, and you can also you feel very secure because it's a job that everyone needs.
Yeah, it's not gonna go away.
Yeah, and you are the smartest person in the room 90% of the time. You know what I mean? Like,
what's the next role then, and what next role and salary for you?
Gosh,
like, what's your target?
And I'm gonna say that, and I was like, I don't really want to be in accounting. I don't know. I mean, it's. I honestly have no idea. I have these conversations with my girlfriend a lot too. I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what I want to do or where I want to be or anything. But I think that this is also. I saw SNL. I don't know if it's SNL clip, but Leslie Jones from SNL. She was always like, you're in your 20s. Like, you don't have to know anything, right? Yeah. And I think in a stage where I think objectively people shouldn't and don't know anything, I think I'm in a good spot.
It's the best city not to know anything.
Exactly.
Agreed, right? And I think, I don't know. I do find myself like Monday and Tuesday, Spencer's going to complain about like little nuances or something not going right, a job or a mistake I made, but also too, I think in the grand scheme of things, Sunday night Spencer, which is more introspective, is going to think that like I think that there's no one's doing anything like wrong. Everyone's doing it at their own pace.
Yeah,
and I think, but the future financial goals thing, I really couldn't tell you. If I'd like to say like what I'd be happy with when I'm in my like 40s and 50s would be like coaching football and teaching accounting at like a high school would be sick.
I can see.
That'd be hilarious.
I feel like
It'd be fun.
Say, hey, Mr. Harlan.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I just remember talking to you about like how you were you played in the O line. You play in the O line.
I played offensive line.
You're like, they get concussions all the time. And I was like, oh damn, really? Like I didn't realize.
Well, it's constant blunt impact on your head.
Yeah,
it's like someone taking a hammer and just beating you up.
And now you're the coach.
Yeah. I would also be like, hey, like pizza party for the boys.
Put your head into it, but pizza party after.
Yeah. I think also too, this is just like a football thing. I'd like to coach special teams because that's just the most fun. I think that's the most fun part of the sport because it's just like every
brutal,
different positions. It's also very dangerous, but like all the different positions are on the field, and everyone's just gonna go get the ball. Everyone's got the same objective.
Every time special teams goes out for our friend that plays it, it's always just like, where's he running?
Yeah, where is he? Yeah.
All they do is run.
It's a lot of running,
so
but
the body's on the line. Yeah,
it's that, but it's I don't know. That would be my goal, or even like teaching. I'd like to coach like maybe cross country would be fun because like, I do like running. Like maybe I could do that. I don't know, I think just having a tangible impact on like the youth would be cool.
What would you?
Sort of way.
Yeah, what would you change after being on the show financially about?
Be more willing to just like give, I guess. My buddy, I was on the subway with my buddy, and this guy was like, his card wasn't working. I hope my buddy sees this, but his card wasn't working, and the guy's like, oh, can someone just spot me a ride? And my buddy, without hesitation, scanned his credit card. He's like, yeah, just go through. And the guy was like, oh, here's my money. He's like, no, don't worry, don't take it, just go through. And just being next to him for that, I was like, oh, that's so like, I know like I think I would try to do the same thing, but the fact that he was just like that. And because it was like a financial decision, I was just like, I don't know. I was like, dang, like I do
that's interesting.
Want to be a lot more like that. I just think finding like other ways to give. Like if one of my friends shares like a charity drive, like I want to give to that. I want to without hesitation give to that. Without like, where I find this hesitation of me like being frugal about it. Whereas
Yeah.
like if it's something that like, tangible is going to help someone more, that $50 for someone else is going to be a lot more important for them than it is for me.
Yeah.
That's a
In that
great
situation.
point.
You know what I mean?
That's a
Like,
great point.
it's all about what your priorities are, and like, do you
Exactly.
prioritize this? And yeah, if you're tight with cash and stuff, but I find myself like even I'm saying on here, I'm like, oh, I am in a privileged position where I have a job where I can pay off my student loans. Like there's other people who aren't in that situation, or just trying to be more giving to the people. I like even just sending things to my parents, or just being I don't know. It's something that like
You're always tight for cash unless it's something that you're spending
Yeah.
on and that
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
You know, like my aunt and my niece reached out to me and she had like this fundraiser for American Heart Association.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And she's like, I'm $30 away from winning the
Yeah,
thing.
that's
And I'm
how I
like,
said
I'm like,
it.
all right, I'll send her the $30.
Aw.
Yeah.
She won, and her parents and her haven't stopped sending me photos of like her and the
So
trophy and
awesome.
whatnot. And I was
Yeah.
really
like,
sweet.
and I was like,
It
that
makes
was
such a big
$30,
difference.
and they've sent me like a bunch of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For her, it made her day. She was like taking pictures of the principal and whatnot.
That's
and I was
awesome.
like,
yeah, I don't know, just tangibly not even hesitate to give like something to people. Where I think I
Fair
do,
enough.
but I just want to be more. I want to be my second nature.
Like
yeah.
instinct.
Instinct. Yeah, I think it's just like I think we all living here. I'm very, and I can just speaking for myself. I'm very very lucky, and I think just having the opportunity to give that to other people is just something I'd like to get
Yeah.
to. So hopefully I
feel
get
you,
there.
man. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Mr. P, I appreciate you hopping on the show.
Yeah, man.
Congrats
Yeah.
on
Thank
the
you.
promo. That's sick.
Yeah.
I know that's awesome.
For that lucky stranger that's about to get their subway ticket
yeah.
taken care of.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my buddy really definitely put something into me today. So
Aw.
appreciate that.
But yeah, thanks for talking about finances. I know that's always a tough thing to do, but
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do here in Eat My Assets. Really help you understand how other New Yorkers are managing their finances today, increase that transparency. Until then, Ronza, why don't you close us out for today?
We'll see you in next week, the week after next
There
week.
you guys confusing. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Sometime soon.